maybe you get some kind of frequently asked questions about SellerVue from sellers. Like, what do you? I've asked a few kind of on the way, kind of that popped up to me as a seller, but I'm sure I've missed something. And what else comes up that people are like maybe continuously asking, and maybe you could share, so then our listeners will kind of yeah, will
Yeah.
help them.
So I guess the biggest one that we get is like, who should use SellerVue, right? And I love this question because I just had a conversation with a company that was valued at 500 million. Um,
Oh,
and they they what do they sell? They sell clothing. And they have a full accounts department, um, accounting department that's tracking shipments and costs and all this kind of stuff. And I was able to, and this company had thousands and thousands of SKUs. And I was able to figure out their costs from one purchase order, a shipment plan, a shipping bill, and a customs bill in less than 5 minutes. And they have an entire team managing this stuff. And you saw how easy it was to use. I mean, you click here, boom, you know your costs, you know where everything is. So they were kind of blown away. But then on the flip side, I had a seller that has one SKU, signed up. I had a conversation with him, and he obviously I think must have had probably was listening to a podcast. Maybe he was listening to you, maybe talking, figuring it out, and he wanted to start off on the right foot, and he's using it. So like we have a
yeah.
big kind of you know yeah, depending on the users that are using it, whether you're just starting out or you're mid-range or, I mean, $500 million company, at the end of the day, what you want to know is you want to know what it costs to receive your product. You want to understand what it costs now. You want to understand what it cost the shipment before and the shipment before that. You also want to have a paper trail of information that you can go,
Mm,
hey, I want to know, say, for example, this product what this invoice, so I can come to here and go, you know what, like something doesn't quite make sense in my costs. I can come over here and go, this is the one I have questions about, and I can click through and go, oh, okay, this was this invoice, this was this line item. Oh, you know what, that makes sense. And I can keep kind of going through and kind of piecing all together. But you can't do that with spreadsheets, right? Because it's just all over the place.
that's true.
So kind of answer your question, whether you're just starting out or you have an established business, this is just going to help kind of mitigate your time and kind of get you the answers that you need kind of quickly to make decisions.
Nice, man. And then on the technical part, when sellers, as you mentioned, sellers are either smaller sellers, beginners that are starting out and they want to do it right, which is always a good idea. And then maybe even a bigger business or a huge business like the half a billion company that came, they were a little bit, kind of disorganized in their own way. They were kind of selling a lot, but still they needed more organization and you could help them. That's pretty awesome. And then once inside, once people logged in and they're inside, maybe they're figuring out. Hopefully, this tutorial will be useful for them because, again, they might be after watching this, like, they'll just they'll know what to do, but still, maybe some technical questions come up too.
Yeah, so that's one thing that we kind of, again, my goal is to help sellers, right? So I've been there, been in the trenches, just like every other seller. So what we do is we have an onboarding process. So,
Mhm.
we will help sellers, get all the information that they need into the software to begin with. And once it's in there, we will kind of walk them through all the technical sides of things. But yeah, as you can see, I mean, it's really easy to use. And I always talk to my developers. I'm like, it's so easy to use. Sometimes I think like maybe is it too easy to use? I don't know.
Nice, man. That's good. That's good. Well, sellers love easy to use stuff, and anyone, I guess, not only sellers, just people. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. So
okay.
I mean, I guess the point of the app is like I would call it like a working app, right? There's often there's other tools like your data analytics tool and whatever tool you're looking to see your orders and how profitable you are.
Yeah.
This is working on making sure that everything is in alignment because I also just think about like your profitability, right? The biggest area that you have room for improvement is your supply chain. So from your supplier to your warehouse. And this is the biggest gray area that I find most sellers have is that they don't quite know what it costs to get that product and what are the areas that you can improve. Can I get a better rate on my supplier? Can I get a better shipping quote? Are my import tariffs correct? Can I get, maybe there's a quick change I can make on my HS code, or is that HS code that my freight forwarder put in, is that correct? So that's the things that we can help with as well to just make sure that one, the system is set up right, and two, are you as profitable as possible?
Okay, man, thanks for answering. And also, at some point, we have seen that we can send to a 3PL warehouse, which is like a warehouse outside of Amazon. Do we have similar communication with them inside the platform too? Like similar to how we could send an email to the freight forwarder from within the platform and say we're now sending, these 200 units are actually going to that warehouse. So maybe priorly to
Yeah.
sending, we need to ask them, is there space for us or something like that? So.
Yeah, so I mean, you'll just kind of come back to your shipment plan, come back over here, and you're ready to send whatever you want to send it over to them. Say, I'm sending over whatever I'm sending over 200 units.
Mhm.
So you can customize this message as well.
Ah, uh-huh.
You know, you can
Makes
obviously
sense.
edit the subject line. You can do whatever, and that automatically attaches like a CSV for you.
Mm-hmm. Oh, pretty awesome, man. So also I'll tell our sellers, like listeners, viewers, if any more questions come up, please ask them in the comments. We'll try to answer. Like once comments come, maybe we missed something. That'll be nice. Mark, one more question. Is there something I should have asked you before we kind of jump into the pricing? Maybe those who are watching now, they'll be curious how much it is and what it costs them to kind of try and use that. But maybe before that, was there any question I should have asked you that kind of I did not? You actually mentioned also interestingly why you've built it, so kind of that could have been a good question to ask, but you did say that. But then anything else that maybe I should have asked you and I still have not about the platform, about the way it works, maybe something along these lines. Do you feel like
I mean,
maybe?
I think we got most of it. But I'm sure other questions will pop up
All right.
regarding the platform. I mean, it's pretty self-explanatory. But yeah, I mean, ultimately, I built this for myself, right?
Yeah.
I'm a
Yeah.
Amazon seller. Like I
Yeah.
said before, I've been selling since 2012. Um, days when it was super easy, and nowadays where it's become a real business. Back in the day, yeah, I say 12 years ago, margins were plentiful, right? You didn't have to worry about margins. But now, every dollar counts, and if you can keep it and you cannot give it away, I highly recommend keeping as much profit as possible.